Hello, my name is Andrew Bauer. I'm an animator, and I made you guys a little video about making some 2D animation. It goes through like the start to finish for all the line stuff, and believe it or not, that takes a long time in real time. So this is all sped up by quite a lot. The only real part you didn't see before I jumped in where we're picking up now is the really rough sort of thumbnails, the animatic to kind of get the rough layout of the two different shots that are in this particular clip. The majority of this clip happens in this frame, this camera position, just the background that I'm working on right now, and I'm not going to get too, well, I say I'm not going to get too detailed, and then I always end up doing that. So it's kind of a foxhole machine gun position that's kind of been like squished by a big metal mechanical thing kind of falling down near it. Well, the metal thing's been all shot to hell because it's in the middle of a war, and if you're going to shoot at a big metal thing, you're going to use big metal bullets. So hey, here we are. This is the the first shot where you kind of get this, figure out where in relation to the rest of the world our character singular is actually happening. So since it's such a small drawing, small in the frame for her, there's not a whole lot of detail that I'm really putting in there. And right now you can see the onion skin or whatever you call it, the light box, so you can see the frame before it in the red color. So she's getting blown backwards by that big old shockwave from the big cannons that she's setting off with her little toolkit. Because, okay, fun fact, the railroad guns they used in World War I that were like pretty much the same size as battleship guns were, what, like 16 inches or something wacky like that. They were humongous. And they were used to blow up fortresses. And the crews that had to run those things, before they fired it, they would run 3 football fields away and lay down on the ground, face down, away from the gun with their mouth open, so the pressure wave from the gun blowing up wouldn't, turn their brains into spaghetti. So her blowing up that gun, a solid 18 feet away, well, she's a cartoon character, so she can like shrug it off, but it would do, oh my god, you would be a wreck of a human being after that. Anyway, the blast wave like throws her backwards into this smushed machine gun foxhole thing. She goes clattering through all the stuff that's in there. She ends up like with a machine gun like flopped across her head, and an ammo can like wedged under her arm. So yeah, so you can see the keyframes to get the main body positions. Those are what I'm sketching in real rough right now. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but she's, in this frame, she's pushing the machine gun off her lap. So yeah, she ends up shocked and surprised and a little bit the worse for wear, trying to collect herself after getting thrown into that ditch. Anyway, she's like pushing the machine gun off of her lap right now and trying to like extricate herself from the heap of mess that she just got chucked into. And one of the things, like how people move, like I've got her like lifting up her left foot to when she like hoists that up, because it's kind of like the counter move, the counterweight to that heavy machine gun that she's trying to push off of herself. You can see that I've cleaned up and, you know, moved forward. Like, there's a lot that I cut out because this freaking clip took a long ass time. But this particular bit's just highlighting some of the like freaking glorious features of not drawing this on sheets of paper. Is a, you know, cut, paste, scale, warp that you don't have to like redraw an entire thing if it's in the wrong place. And you just get the brim of her hat and smush it to wherever I want it to go to make sure that it matches. Now that I'm working on the details though, you'll notice that I'm definitely, instead of just like the rough scribbly positions, you'll notice I'm clicking back and forth and, between frames. And that's kind of the digital equivalent of like the old timey animators having several sheets of paper in their fingers and like flipping back and forth constantly between one page and the next. To check and see how those different drawings are relating to each other over time. So you can do it using the light table, the digital light table feature, onion skin, whatever it's called, or an actual light table if you're drawing on paper. That can give you, you know, seeing through to the pages underneath can give you certain amount of the visual that you need to keep track of the different parts of the drawing that are changing from drawing to drawing, from frame to frame. But clicking back and forth is like an indispensable thing. You really should do it to watch it happen, to watch each frame flicker back and forth. And you can like, I've actually got a little separate number pad that I got plugged into my computer, and I've hotkeyed all the different one frame forward, one frame back, first, next keyframe, previous keyframe, start and finish. I've keyframed all the hotkeyed all those to the number pad that I have, so I have all that stuff at my left fingertips like all the time, because I will always be flipping between one frame, next frame, keyframe to keyframe, so that you can see all of that motion happen over time. Like you can get some of it from the onion skin, but it's not enough, and you got to do it this way too. Well, you don't have to. You can do it however it ends up working for you, but I find this to be a really important detail in you know how I work here. If you're paying attention to the background a little bit, you'll notice that I've switched from one program to another program. I started out when I was drawing the background and started out with the rough keyframes. I was working in Toon Boom Harmony, which has a ton of great features and is that is a huge program with more tools and, you know, fancy bits than I really know what to do with. Personally, I kind of like using TV Paint better for a couple of reasons, so I swapped over to TV Paint to do the rest of it, and that's what I'm working on now. Yes, it's all bitmap stuff, so you don't have quite the like granular level of control over each line that you would with a vector drawing, but I don't really care about that crap. Vectors are dumb. They're not dumb. They're great. They're fine. I don't like them. I prefer bitmap stuff. If you don't like the where a line is, just erase it and then redraw it, or, you know, get a cutout selection and then, you know, warp it to wherever you need it to be. It's the same reason that I don't like 3D animation as much. It's just like so much technology between you and the drawing. If you want if you want to fix something, just draw it differently. You know, just here's a pencil, draw what you want. One of the biggest selling points for TV Paint that I love is if you look over in the top left corner, you can see that palette with the different pencils and ink pots and erasers. You can draw all of those on one layer, all together. I mean, it's just like drawing with different colors on any other program, except that you can erase each of those independently. So I can draw all of my sketches in red, draw over top of it and in cleanup lines in black, click one button and all the red stuff disappears without messing up the black lines. So that makes rough sketching, little cleanup details, and revisions in one layer super easy without having to like make separate layers for like an adjustment layer or a sketch layer or the fixers. I can just put it all in one place and delete stuff that I don't want, that I'm done with, like the rough sketch in blue, poof, gone, and I can move on with my life. I love that feature, and I use it constantly, and that's why I like TV Paint better.